Greetings. Welcome to another in our series on Tai Chi long form yang style. This is another in the long form reference series. So far in this series we've done a three-part what's called playing the form, where we've done the form in an energetic fashion. There's a one-part regular reference, just follow along with the movements. There's a four-part applications video. There is the one on the three dantians. And so we're going to start on a new series of closely looking at certain principles that are very, very important for the inner work of Tai Chi, to make a Tai Chi Chuan really powerful energetically for you. Now, there are certain elements that are very important. How the feet go, how the hips move, how the center moves, how the arms move, how the hands move. And each one of these elements, if you tried to concentrate on all of these elements at the same time when you're practicing, it would just be overwhelming. So what I always recommend doing, and what we're going to be doing here, is breaking up each little piece. Like this particular we're going to start off looking at what we call gathering to the inside of the foot and releasing from the outside of the foot. It's a basic principle that isn't talked about very much, but Madame Gao turned me on to it, and it really changed so much of the way I was doing things. So we're going to go through the long form, Yang style long form, and examine in each movement the principles of gathering to the inside and releasing from the outside. This means yin and yang. Tai Chi is sometimes called yin and yang boxing. And because each movement contains yin and yang, a sort of a negative and a positive, a gathering and a releasing, and all parts of the body must reflect this. And so we're going to start off on the feet, making sure that the feet are expressing this yin-yang principle. And structurally, it's very, very, very important that we gather and release. Gather to the inside of the foot and release from the outside, the heel. Now, when I say gather and release from the inside and the outside, I don't mean just the very, very inside tip and just the very outside. But in gathering to the inside, we use the big toe and the inside arch a lot more, and when we release from the outside, we use the little toe, the outside arch, and the heel predominantly. Particularly the heel. The heel is very important for expressing and releasing energy and expressing the yang fullness of the body. So we will be examining, going through the whole form, and this way you can follow through, you can practice going through the whole form, and at the same time be working on this one particular principle. So let's look at, we'll do bow and sit stance. We'll just do our regular stance, and then we will, we can isolate that. So you can practice this first, make sure you've got this, and then we'll put it into the form. All right? So, as always, feet are always shoulder width, knees always go in the direction of the toe. So we'll open up, shifting the weight to the right foot and stepping ahead the left. Okay, so this relationship of the back foot at approximately a 45-degree angle, the front knee goes in the direction of the toe, the knees always go in the direction of the toes, the back is straight and the hips are relaxed. All of these, principles are always ever present. But we're not going to be focusing so much on any of those. We're going to be talking about gathering and releasing to the inside and outside. Okay, when we're forward, we'll say the weight is pretty much evenly distributed over the whole foot. When we shift back, I feel the weight predominantly on the inside of the foot, the big toe. The heel is also involved, but mostly the inside edge. And this is going to if I gather to the outside, what tends to happen is the inside is going to lift up, the weight will shift outside the body's center of gravity, at base of support, and you can easily lose your balance, putting a lot of stress on the outside of the leg. When you gather to the inside of the foot, the pressure is into the foot, making the root more solid. If you go to the outside, you lose the root and you lose a lot of the solidness of the form. The same thing when you go forward. If you press forward from the inside of the foot, the outside has a chance to roll up, losing the root, losing the continuity of the foot. If you press from the outside, from the heel, it makes the foot more solid. It presses the foot more firmly on the ground, thereby making a solid structure more possible. So whether you go straight, so here, gathering to the inside, I can feel if something were to press on me, it would make me more solid. If I'm on the outside, if something were to press on me, it would just throw me out of balance. Same thing, when I'm forward, if I go loosen the outside, I lose the root, it puts a stress on my hip. If I press to the outside, it makes me solid. So we can either go straight forward and straight back. Now, generally speaking, as we go through the form, what I'm going to be, every part of every movement, every foot is gathered to the inside and released from the outside. But particularly the foot that is going to be carrying the weight, the foot that I'm moving onto, generally speaking, it's more of a whole solid foot. I'm not going to, when I move forward onto this forward foot, because it's coming straight in, I'm not going to be really gathering as much to the inside. It's just going to be a natural acceptance. If I then, from this particular foot, wanted to step someplace else, I wanted to step forward, when I sink onto it, it goes mostly into the inside of the foot. Now I'm gathered to the inside, and as I shift my weight, it presses from the outside. But if we're just going straight forward and straight back, it pretty much just accepts it. Okay. Or if I'm turning, same thing, inside of the foot and outside, pressing down. Now, one other thing that we want to think about with this the yin. Yin is this gathering. Here, this is what we call yin. I'm gathering, accepting. The energy is dropping down into here. When we move forward, it becomes yang. The energy is full. It comes out and expresses itself. Yang and yin. So this makes Tai Chi. This makes it very, very important. Another thing to think about is we visualize the energy screwing down into the ground and drawing up from into the ground. When I go back, the energy is going to gather into the hip joint, and it's like a screwdriver. The screw is going counterclockwise as I move back onto it, drawing the energy up into the hip. When we press forward, it's like the screw goes counterclockwise, making my foot more solid. So here, this would be screwing in and screwing down and out. All of this, when we look at the next time we go through the form, we'll be looking at the hips, and this will be much more prevalent. You'll see it a lot more clearly then. But for now, when we gather, don't worry too much about this screwing in and screwing out. I think it'll be more important to look at it with the hip, but it happens here. So here is yin, we gather to the inside of the foot. Here's yang, we express to the outside. Okay? And so we'll be doing this, we'll be looking at this all throughout the form. When I call out, I'm going to be calling out where the energy is, gathering and where it's releasing, inside, outside. Sometimes I won't say, particularly for the foot that's forward, the foot that you're moving onto, sometimes I won't say, you're gathering to the inside or outside. Just the most important, the foot that is really going to be doing the expression, the side of the body that's going to be expressing, gathering, or releasing. The only other thing I want to tell you before we get started is there's a lot of times we use empty step, what we call ding bu step, empty step. And we'll do movements, for instance, like play the fiddle, where We bring up a foot. The energy moves to the inside of this foot as I transfer the weight. Then you're standing on one leg as you express the energy. And actually inside, as I am transferring this weight onto this foot and expressing this, it's like I'm pushing down into this foot. It's going to come from the heel. It's going to come from the outside of the foot, but my body is not going to be coming up. That energy is going to go out. It's a little tricky in the beginning, so that's why you have to practice this. You gather to the inside, then you release from the outside, but even though nothing is expressing itself structurally, it will be energetically. Okay, so when I say, gather the inside and release, even though we're still on the empty step, we can do it. You can do it with practice. You can send the energy. It's like bouncing a little ball. You can do it. Okay, so I think that's all the things I needed to say, and we're going to go through the form nice and slowly. I'll call out the foot, either inside, gather, release, outside. We'll see how it goes. So just follow along. For those of you who are learning the form and practicing the form, follow along, and we'll just examine this aspect as we go through the long form. All right? So this is a follow along, so I'll turn to face the rear. We need a little more room on the left side. Okay, so in commencement, it's the same thing. Well, let me turn around here a second. One last thing about the commencement. Most people when they do commencement of Tai Chi do some sort of a thing like this. It's just sort of a opening and a closing. But I've wanted to work on all of the basic principles of Tai Chi, so I do all these elements, I add in all these elements to commencement. So this is what's called Wu Qi, or balanced, complete balance, quietness of the body when we start. Wu Qi, there's no differentiation between yin and yang. Now I decide, okay, I'm going to want to start my practice. So first, I gather. Yin. Energy moves to the hip, to the inside of the foot. Then, Pong, I open. The energy moves to the heel. Outside is expressing this fullness. Then Yin, the energy moves back down and in. For Lu, then Ji, energy moves back up, out to the heel, outside of the foot, fully expresses itself. Then An, first part is gather. Second part is expresses Yang, pressing down. Now I'm ready to move into the form. Okay, so that's just a little practice, kind of working the hips, getting the feet going, and then getting ready to do the form. All right. So commencement of Tai Chi Chuan. Here we are, Wu Qi, then inside of the foot, outside of the foot, inside of the foot, outside of the foot, inside of the foot, outside of the foot. Okay, next, ward off left. Here we gather to the inside of the foot and outside heel. Fullness, yang. Then yin, we gather to the inside. Right push upward. Yang. And you notice the heel is very solid here. Even as the toe turns in, the heel stays expressing the energy. Roll back, gather to the inside. Press from the heel Gather to the inside. Inside, yin is soft. Yin is very relaxing. Yang is full and expressive. Whole body filled up with energy. Then gather to the inside. Single whip. Gather to the inside of the foot. Press from the heel. Raise hands. Here's one of those empty steps. We gather to the inside and press from the heel. Stork spreads its wings. Gather to the inside. Press from the outside. Left brush knee. Gather to the inside. Press from the heel. Play the fiddle. Step up. Gather to the inside. Express from the heel. Left brush knee. Gather to the inside. Release from the heel. Right brush knee. Gather to the inside. Release from the heel. Left brush knee. Gather to the inside. Release from the heel. Play the fiddle. Again, empty stepping. Here, gather to the inside of the right foot. Express from the heel. Left brush knee. Step up, parry and punch. Gather to the inside. Release from the heel. Gather to the inside of the right foot as we step ahead. And release from the heel. Withdraw and push. Gather to the inside. Release from the heel. Cross hands. In this case, we gather to the insides of both feet and release to the heel. Then gather to the left foot. Release from the heel. Gather the inside. Release from the outside. Gather to the inside. Release from the outside. Fist under elbow. And of course, in all these transitions, there's all the same things still going on. But we're just talking about the major gathers here. So here we gather the inside of the right foot. And again, empty stepping, release from the heel. Step back and repulse monkey. This is a little tricky in the beginning to feel. So you gather to the inside of the front foot and release from the heel of the right foot. Gather to the inside of the left foot. Release from the heel. Gather to the inside of the right foot and release from the heel. Slanting flying. Open. Gather to the inside of the left foot and release from the heel. Raise hands. Gather the inside of the left foot. Release from the heel. Stork spreads its wings. So here actually we're going to gather to the inside of the right foot and then release from the heel. With shoulder strike, it's a very short energy. So it's actually coming from my right. The tendency is to want to think about it coming from the left, but no. We shift the weight into the inside of the right foot, then press the heel down. And then for the second release, we again press the heel down. Left brush knee, gather to the right inside and release from the heel. Needle at C bottom. This is a funny one where you gather the inside of the right foot and release from the heel. Now, by releasing, it's going to come like an arc of releasing energy. So the body is full now, going down. Good. Then, fan through the back. Gather to the right inside. Release from the heel. Turn and chop opponent with fist. Gather to the inside. This is not quite release yet. This is just a little light hit. Now the release comes here from the heel. Step up, deflect downward, and punch. Gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Ward off left. Gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Right push upward. So this is one of these ones, so here we were pivoting out on the heel, immediately move into the inside of the front foot. Then release from the heel. Roll back, gather the inside, release from the heel. Gather the inside, release from the heel. Single whip. Gather to the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Waving hands like clouds. This one I like a lot. It feels really good to gather to the inside of the foot, release from the heel. Gather to the inside of the foot, release from the heel. Pressing out with that releasing energy. Gather the inside of the foot, release from the heel. Gather the inside of the foot, release from the heel. Single whip. Gather the inside of the left foot, release from the heel. Gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. High pat on horse. Gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Now for kicking, it's still the same principle. You gather to the inside, this time the inside of the left foot, and the release is going to happen by pressing down. So kick. When we kick, we want the body to be nice and firm. So we release from the heel and then immediately relax. Separation of the left foot kick, gather the inside, release from the heel. Turn, gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Left brush knee, gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Right brush knee, gather the inside of the left foot, release from the heel. Step up and punch downward. Gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Turn and chop opponent with fist. We'll use this as a kind of a transition. We could firm it up, but we'll use it as kind of a transition here. Gather the inside of the left foot. Release from the heel. Step up, parry, and punch. This is interesting here. The weight is on the forward foot. So I immediately relax into the inside of the foot. Then I press from the heel for this first part, a solid strike. Then releasing to the inside. Okay, then gather to the inside of the right foot. Release from the heel. Right foot kick with sole. Gather the inside of the foot. Release. Excuse me. Release from the heel. Hit a tiger. Gather to the inside of the right foot. Release from the heel. Gather to the inside of the left foot. Release from the outside. Hit a tiger at right. Right foot kick with sole. Gather the inside. Release from the heel. Turn. Gather the inside of the left foot. Release from the heel. Left foot kick with sole. Gather the inside of the left foot. Kick. Turn. And right foot kick with sole. Gather the inside of the right foot, left foot, and kick. Step up, parry, and punch. Gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Withdraw and push. Inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Cross hands. It's actually going to be gathered to the inside of the right foot, which frees the left foot up. Then I gather to the inside of the left foot and release from the heel. Roll back, inside of the left foot, release from the heel. Inside of the left foot, release from the heel. Single whip, diagonal single whip. Inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Partition of the wild horse's mane. Inside of the left foot, release from the heel. Inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Inside the left foot, release from the heel. Ward off left. Inside of right foot, release from the heel. Right push upward. Inside of left foot, release from the heel. Roll back, inside of left, press outside, and push inside, left, outside. Single whip. Okay, we gather to the inside of the right and release from the heel. Gather to the inside of the right foot and release from the heel. Fair Lady works at shuttles. Gather the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Gather the inside of the left foot, release from the heel. Grab the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Grab the inside of the left foot, release from the heel. Ward off left. Gather the inside of the right foot, release from heel. Right push upward. Gather the inside of the left foot, release from the heel. Roll back, inside, press outside, push inside, outside. Single whip. Gather to the inside of the right foot, release from the heel. Waving hands like clouds. Inside right, heel. Inside right, heel. Inside right, heel. Inside right, heel. Single whip. Inside left, release from heel. Inside right, release from heel. Snake creeps down. Still the same. We gather to the inside of the right and release from the heel. Golden pheasant. Gather to the inside of the left, release from the heel. Gather the inside of the right, release from the heel. Step back and repulse monkey. Gather the inside right, release from the heel. Gather the, okay, well this we'll just say, gather the inside of the left, release from the heel. Gather the inside of the right, release from the heel. Slanting flying. Gather the inside of the left, release from the heel. Raise hands. Inside left, heel. Stork spreads its wings. This is an elbow strike. It's going to be an elbow strike. So again, the energy shifts into the inside of the right foot and then releases from the heel. So the weight shifts into this foot and then the weight comes from the right. It looks like it would come from the left, but not really. It really comes from the right, since we're in so close. And then release from the heel again. Left brush knee. Release from the outside. Needle at C bottom. Inside right. Outside right. Fan through the back. Inside right. From the heel of the right. Turn and white snake puts out tongue. Inside left. Release from the heel. Step up, deflect downward and punch. Inside right. Release from the heel. Ward off, left. Inside right. Outside heel. Ward off, a right push upward. Inside left. Outside, release. Roll back, inside left. Press, outside left. Push, inside left. Outside left. Single whip. Inside right, heel right. Wave your hands like clouds. Inside right, heel. Inside right, heel. Inside right, heel. Inside right, heel. Single whip. Inside left, heel. Inside right, heel. High pat on horse, plain cross hands. Inside right, heel. Turning cross foot kick. Inside left, heel. Step up and punch downward. Inside right, heel. Ward off left, inside right, heel. Right push upward. Inside left, heel. Roll back inside, press outside, inside, outside. Single whip. Inside right, heel. Snake creeps down. We open up the stance a little bit. Inside right, heel. Inside left, heel. Stork spreads its wings. Inside right, heel. Turn around and kick horizontally. Inside left, heel. Hit a tiger. Inside left, heel. Step up, deflect, downward and punch. Inside right, heel. Withdraw and push. Inside right, heel. Conclusion. So here we go back to Wu Qi. So we gather inside. Actually, the energy is moving up to the upper body. It moves down to the lower body. When it arrives at the lower Dantian, we then move into Wu Qi, once again into balance and to relaxation. Whew. That's a workout. Okay, so of course it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, it's easy to grasp that when you're gathering the energy, it moves to the inside. When you're releasing, it moves to the outside. So what is really important is that you know exactly what you want to be accomplishing in your form, what your intention is, what your applications are, and that will explain exactly what you're doing. So, you know, it's just if you don't know what your intention is, please look at the applications that are online at gilmanstudio.com, or we have videos on that subject. All right. So we don't really have enough time to go through that in that way, but I think what we'll do is let's go through at a much more quicker pace, but still kind of examining in and out, and I'll do it from the front. So I'll give you a little more of a chance to sort of integrate it, and we'll just kind of breeze through a little bit more. We'll say inside and heel and all of that. Okay. All right, commencement. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. Ward off left, inside, outside. Right push upward, inside, outside. Roll back, inside, outside, inside, outside. Single whip, inside right, outside. Raise hands, inside left, outside. Stork spreads its wings, inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Play the fiddle. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Right brush knee. Inside left, outside. Right brush, left brush knee. Inside right, outside. Play the fiddle. Inside right, outside. Left brush knee inside, right, outside. Step up parry and punch. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. Withdraw and push. Inside right, outside. Cross hands. Actually, this is going to be inside left, outside. Inside left, outside. Inside left, outside. Inside, outside. Fist under elbow. Inside right, outside. Step back and repulse monkey. Inside right, outside. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. Slanting flying. Inside left, outside. Raise hands. Inside left, outside. Stork spreads its wings. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Left brush knee. Inside right, outside. Needle at C bottom. Inside right, outside. Fan through the back. Inside right, outside. Turn and chop opponent with fist. Inside left, outside. Step up, deflect downward and punch. Inside right, outside. Ward off left. Inside right, outside. Right push upward. Inside left, outside. Inside left, outside. Inside left, outside. Single whip. Inside right, outside. Waving hands like clouds. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Single whip. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. High pat on horse. Inside right, outside. Separation of the right foot kick. Inside left, outside. Separation of the right foot kick. Inside right, outside. Turn. Left foot kick, right foot kick with sole, outside. Inside right, outside. Step up, inside left, outside. Punch downward, inside right, outside. Turn and chop opponent with fist. Inside left, outside. Step up, deflect downward and punch. Inside right, outside. Right foot kick with sole. Inside left, outside. Hit a tiger. Inside right, outside. Hit a tiger at right, inside left, outside. Right foot kick with sole, inside left, outside. Turn, strike opponent's ears, inside left, outside. Left foot kick with sole, inside right, inside left, outside. Step up, parry and punch, inside right, outside. Withdraw and push, inside right, outside. Cross hands. It's actually going to be inside right, outside. Inside left, outside. Inside left, outside. left, outside. Diagonal single whip. Inside right, outside. Partition of the wild horse's mane. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside left, outside. Ward off left, inside right, outside. Right push upward. Inside left, outside. Roll back, press forward and push. Inside, outside, inside, outside. Single whip. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Fair lady works at shuttles. Inside right, outside. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside, outside. Inside, outside. Inside left, outside. Inside left, outside. Inside left, outside. Single whip. Inside right, outside. Waving hands like clouds. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Single whip. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside right, snake creeps down, outside. Golden pheasant, inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. Step back and repulse monkey. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. Slanting flying. Inside left, outside. Raise hands. Inside left, outside. Stork spreads its wings. Inside right, outside. Left brush knee. Inside right, outside. Needle at sea bottom. Inside right, outside. Fan through the back. Inside right, outside. Turn and white snake puts out tongue. Inside left, outside. Step up, deflect downward, right, outside. Ward off, inside, right, outside. Inside, outside. Left, inside, outside. Inside, outside. Single whip. Right, inside, outside. Waving hands like clouds. Inside right, inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Single whip. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. High pat on horse, plain cross hands. Inside right, outside. Turn in cross foot kick, left foot, kick. Step up and lower punch. Inside right, outside. Right, outside. Left, outside. Left in, left out. Left in, left out. Single whip. Right inside, right outside. Snake creeps down. Inside and outside. Step up to form 7 stars. Inside and out. Inside and out. Inside and out. Inside left, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside right, outside. Inside, outside, whole foot, and releasing. Wu-chi. Whew. So, that's fun, and I hope this has kind of turned you on to the use of the inside gather and the outside release, the yin and yang parts of Tai Chi. So practice just this, go through this, and your whole form will improve, I'm sure. So next time we'll look at the hips, and thank you very much, and see you next time. Thanks.